Welcome to my podcast, guys. If you are here to work on your relationship with your child, then you are for sure in the right space, because you will always have to work on your relationship with yourself. And this is what I offer here on my podcast. So if you listen to my podcast and hear things that are not obviously related to your son, listen on, because whatever you improve in your relationship with yourself will automatically improve all of your relationships, including with your son. So welcome and enjoy. Hey guys, how are you all doing? I am doing so well. I have a great topic for you today. It's about guilt, feeling guilty, and how to solve for that. But before that, I wanted to remind you that I'm doing this giveaway to celebrate 1 year of my podcast. Yay! And it's going to be a gift card to Lululemon. So please, if you could please give me a review on iTunes podcasts, and if you can kind of screenshot it and share it on social media, wherever you are, you can tag me, coaching_Natalia, and then you'll be entered into the draw today. This week is the last week, and next week I'm announcing the winner. And thank you everyone who has given me a review and shared it. I really appreciate it. It helps other people find the podcast and get some help and kind of get some more joy in life. So today I'm going to talk about feeling guilty. And somebody asked me about that last week, and they said they feel guilty about something, and they asked me if I have any insights. So it was actually quite interesting. Like, remember when I talked about asking the universe to help you out with something? This is kind of what happened with this part, where someone asked me about guilt, and I said, of course I can help with that. And then I started thinking about it, and in the beginning I thought, I haven't really felt guilty in a while. So I was trying to understand really what it is. And I mean, conceptually I know, right, what it is and kind of about it, but I couldn't really get down to a level where I can relate. So I put it out to the universe to show me. I was like, can you show me what it is that about guilt that I need to experience and that I need to understand, so that I can help this one person the best way I can. And sure enough, the universe presented me with like 4 great examples in my own life where I experienced it myself, so that I can relate to this person better. Isn't the universe great? And it was really fascinating. It was right after that I started having these examples happen. And the last one was this morning, and I had some emotion to process. And so I am fully ready to talk about guilt with you guys. And to start off, I want to preface this with the belief that I have about us people. That really helps me. That's kind of like my jumping off point. And it's based from all the learnings that I received from Abraham. Basically, that I believe that in our truest state as human beings, we are amazing. We are connected to the source, the energy, the God, or whatever you want to call it. We are connected to it, and we are truly amazing as we are. And when we are connected to it, we also believe that. We believe that we're great, and we are in sync with the truth, and the truth being that we are amazing. We're super awesome. And so because I believe that that is always true, then whenever we have feelings like guilt or worry, I lump them all in the same, like guilt, worry, shame, then I look at them and think, oh, these are just mistaken beliefs. These are not true, because the truth is that I'm amazing and I don't need to feel bad. So that when I'm feeling guilt or shame or worry, I'm just mistaken. So all I have to do is get back to the truth of my being, that I'm whole, complete, and amazing. And so I know right away, like that premise tells me that I'm believing something that's not true. And so all I have to do now is do the work of uncovering how this is not true, right? So that's the premise that helps me a lot right away, because I believe that I'm always amazing. So I just then do the work to remember that, okay? And here's some tools. I have two main tools to do that for myself. First of all, I accept that I messed up. So with the example of guilt, whenever I experience guilt, and for you guys as well, it's going to be always the flavor of I did something wrong, I didn't do something right, I wish I did that, I wish I didn't do that, something in terms of like wrong, right? And it could be something in the past. I did something wrong in the past, or I haven't done something in the past, or it could be in the present, like I'm not doing something right, or I'm doing something wrong, right? So first of all, right, that I know that the source of my guilt is a thought in that kind, like, oh, I wish I didn't say that. So that thought is creating a feeling of guilt for me because I believe it so much in the moment, right? I'm like, oh my gosh, like a couple examples I wrote down. For me, why did I say that to my friend? I shouldn't have said that. She's upset now. I feel bad. I shouldn't have said that. And now see how that thought keeps on going in loop. I shouldn't have said that. Oh, I said that. And I keep arguing with the reality that I said that, but then I'm thinking, oh, I shouldn't have said that. Oh, wait, I said that. I shouldn't have said that. So the whole loop of me thinking that over and over again creates the feeling of guilt in me, okay? So first of all, my answer to that is, yeah, I totally said that and it was wrong. And then I sit with that for a while. I'm like, oh, crap. Like, and what helps me, then there comes in the second tool that comes in to help me with that is that I am human. When I think I'm human, that gives me permission to make a mistake like the one I've made, right? That, oh my gosh, I totally said that. Fine, I shouldn't have, but I did. I did say that, and it's okay that I did because I'm human. So I accept reality of the fact that I said that, and that helps me make peace with it, and helps me not fight with reality, right? So the other part of that is, for me, remembering that part of being human is having a life of 50-50. So 50% will be amazing, and the other 50% of life will not be amazing. So that includes 50% of me doing everything right, and then 50% of me doing mistakes. And the other way I apply that is that 50% of life will be crappy. So it's not that I would have made a mistake, but it's just the 50% of life is like the feelings of life will be crappy. Like feeling guilty is included as part of me being human. That's a human package. So me remembering that gives me a relief. Then nothing has gone wrong. I am human, I make mistakes, and I feel negative emotion half of the time. So then when my brain says, oh, I shouldn't have said that to my friend, then I know that, first of all, that's okay for me to feel that. Second of all, I'm human, it's okay if I made a mistake. And it's okay that happened. Like, this is what happened in the past, I can't change it, and that's part of this is how it should have always been. This is what I tell myself. And it's a process. I don't get there right away, but I know that that's like the road that I have to go to get back to believing that I am amazing, right? So notice how like this is all based on the premise that this is all an illusion that something went wrong. And all I have to do is find the way to believing again that everything is right. So the same thing for you. If you believe that everything is going according to plan, then how could this thing in the past that didn't happen or happened, how could that align with this scenario that everything is going right? And a lot of the time it doesn't make sense. Sometimes we think, like with COVID, with the pandemic, it doesn't make sense that we would think this should happen. But according to Byron Katie, she teaches this concept again that if it's happening, then it should be happening. That means you're not fighting with reality. So if you think this should be happening, then you are at peace, then you are accepting the reality. So let me take a sip of water. I feel really passionate about it. So I'm talking really fast, so I need some water. So this has changed my life tremendously, so much so that I see all of my life through that lens, especially when something goes not according to plan, when something bad happens. I always know that, oh my gosh, this was supposed to happen? How so? All right, well, I can fight about it. Like I can argue that this shouldn't have happened, but I always know that my work to do with me is to find a way to make peace with it, like how this should have happened. So this is how I think about guilt. This is how I think about worry. This is how I think about shame. These are all just thought errors. These are all delusions that sometimes we stray off the path of feeling great. And when we do that, that's how we feel. So we just notice, oh, I'm believing that something's wrong with me. Oh, I got to come back. Like, this is just not true. Oh, I'm believing I did something wrong. I feel guilty. Oh, right. This is totally fine. How can I get back to believing that everything is well? Right? So I hope you can borrow this thinking, because it saves a tremendous amount of time in feeling terrible and spinning in the same story over and over again. And saves you a lot of energy and a lot of, you don't stop fighting with other people. You move on. You get to acceptance of life as it is a lot sooner. So with the pandemic and COVID, a lot of people would be wishing that it wasn't there, would spend a lot of time complaining that it wasn't happening, would be thinking about things that they would be doing otherwise if the pandemic wasn't here. And that's just a lot of wasted energy and time from your life, not enjoying your life, right? So knowing that this is all supposed to happen and this is all part of the plan saves you a lot of time and moves you forward, allows you to enjoy life as it is without fighting what it is. Let me give you a couple other examples. So definitely an example of, yelling at the kids. I've done that enough times and I've felt guilty enough times that now that if I do it, when I do it, I try to apologize and forgive myself for doing it as soon as possible, because I don't want to spend any extra time beating myself up for it. And I want my kids to know that, like, I love them and there's nothing wrong with them and there's nothing wrong with me and we're all human, and I accept that I'm human, and I want to demonstrate to them an example of how it's possible to do something wrong and forgive yourself and ask for forgiveness and be just as happy right after it as before, right? So I really practice that. It doesn't always take me fast as other times, but that is always my goal. So, and with my husband, I have so many chances to practice that, like saying, yes, you're totally right. I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. I did not think of you. I'm so sorry. I wish I did think of you when I bought this food for myself and I didn't think that you might want it. Totally sorry. I'm totally in the wrong. Like, would you like this food right now? Right? This just happened last week. So, and just realizing that, like, oh my gosh, I totally made that mistake. And I used to get defensive and think like, well, like, how am I supposed to know you want this? And defending the fact that I didn't think of it. Instead, I go, oh my gosh, you're right. I did not think of that. Holy crap. And knowing that I'm human, that I am making these mistakes, helps me get there so much sooner and save a fight. There's no fight. There's actually connecting. We get to connect over this mistake, which is so great, right? Again, with yelling at the kids, I get to connect with the kids on such a deep level. I get to connect to them over love, me loving them. And I'm like, I'm so sorry I yelled. And I feel closer to them. They feel closer to me. We understand each other. We get to hug it out. So here's another example. Let me see. So it's so interesting sometimes that I find myself that I'm actually a lot better at accepting things, bigger things in life than smaller things. For example, the pandemic. For me, I didn't have to do any work for me to accept the fact that pandemic is going on, that COVID is going on, that we are affected through the school, the work, masks, the risk, the dangers, everything. But sometimes when there's a small little thing that in my head says this is dumb, this shouldn't be happening, it sends me for a loop so much more because I feel like I have more control over it. And this might be happening for you. If you have an illusion that you could have controlled this thing and you didn't, then you're going to be a lot more harsh on yourself. And I want you to resist that temptation, because if you knew better, then you wouldn't have done it, or you would have done it, right? And sometimes, like this one person brought to me, they said, I wish I could be helping someone, but I can't. Now, this is a great example where you're resisting the reality that you can't help them. So is it true that you can't help them? And if it's true that you can't help them in the way you want to help them, then you need to sit with that and accept that I can't help them in the way I want to help them, right? And not argue with that. Be like, no, I wish I was able to help that. No, I wish I was helping them, but you can't, right? Then there's another way you can say, is there a way that I could help in that would allow with this reality, right? And make a decision and own that decision that this is what I'm choosing to do, and I'm choosing not to help because of this reason. Do I like my reason? Or I'm choosing to help in the way that I actually can help, and I'm going to choose to be at peace that this is how I can help now. I'm not going to wish I was helping more. I'm not going to wish I was helping in a different way, right? Because if you are arguing with that, you're going to be miserable. Whenever we're arguing with reality, when we're wishing something was different, we're always going to suffer and we're going to lose every single time. Like this, I got this from Byron Katie, and it helps so much. So this is what I want to offer to you. If this is something you're feeling guilty over currently, that's happening in your life right now, then it's always available to you to make a new decision of what you want to do currently, and then have your own back on it. Don't allow yourself to tell yourself, oh, I wish I was doing it differently, or I wish that I could do it differently, or I wish this was better. No. These are all thoughts that will create guilt for you, and they're all wrong. They're going to have you miss out on the fact that you are helping. And you're going to miss out on being in your most complete state, most amazing feeling of the truth that is you, that you are whole and complete, and you are helping. You are doing what you want. And if that's not how you like it to be, you can either make peace with it or decide this is how I want it to be. All right. Let me check my notes. And the last thought I'll leave you with is, what if something is happening because it was always meant to happen this way? Because you could think that that's true. Something that you wouldn't want to happen, but is happening. What if that was always going to happen that way and you just didn't know it? And now your choice is to accept that. And the other thought I wrote down here, it says, if I can't help someone, then maybe they don't need it. What if that's true? We always think that people, it would be nice to have help, right? If they could have help, that would be great. If I could get some help, it would be great. Because help is great. Because help is such a good thing, right? But that might that might not be a thought that serves us when we can't help, right? So something that frees me up is that if everything is happening the way it should happen, then if they don't get the help, then maybe this is what should be happening, right? So think about those things. I hope this helps. And remember, guilt, worry, shame are never, ever the truth. They are just a misguided mistake, illusion. And all you have to do is find a way back to the truth where you are an amazing human being. You're awesome. You make mistakes sometimes, and you don't have to feel bad about yourself. All right, guys, I love you so much, and I hope to talk to you soon, and I'll see you next week. Bye.